Hi team, it is Mental Health Awareness Week, and I know that I've gone on all year about how I'm going to do these videos and I still haven't. So I had a bit of time between PT, so this is my opportunity to rattle out some things regarding mental health. Now, ironically, the first video I'm going to do is all about stress and anxiety, so causes, triggers, ways to manage it, and to kind of let you know that it's okay to feel stressed and anxious. We all feel it, we all have it, and there's nothing to say that it's wrong. It's your body's way of behaving to fight or flight. The ironic thing is that I feel stressed and anxious by doing videos to you guys because I have a innate fear of you thinking that I'm just talking bullshit and that you don't really care what I think, and that's my own kind of self-confidence and my own self-esteem that stops me doing things like this, because I don't think it's very helpful to people. But in my eyes, I've kind of seen it as, even if it helps one person, then I don't give a shit what the rest of you say. So but hopefully more than one of you finds this helpful. All in all, what is stress? You know, a lot of people think that being stressed about the stupid little things is wrong. You can be stressed about anything, and it's your natural response to something around you changing. We are a complete species that hates the idea of change, and some of us deal with it better than others. You know, I've known people that literally hear the word, we're going to do something differently, and have a massive freak out and get aggressive, get argumentative, get, I don't want to do that. You know, that's it. You know, there's no way you're going to change my mind, even though that there's no way around it. The change is going to happen no matter what. It happens within your work life, it happens within your friendship groups, it happens in your relationships. So it's about being aware of how you respond to it and how you respond to it well. Let's first talk about kind of causes. So I've already kind of mentioned kind of the areas that it might happen in. So one of the main causes is when you think that you have a threat coming towards you and you're fearful of the outcome. So it's something that you think is going to be dangerous to you or affect you in some way negatively. Whether that's being harmed, whether that's losing a friend, losing a job, having issues with your finances, that uncertainty, that lack of control. Like, that's my biggest one. And what I'm going to try and do in most of these mental health videos is try and tell you how I'm affected by all these things, because we're all affected by these things. And I'm not going to lie and be like, I'm great and dandy, everything's fine, I'm Miss Positive and everything's fine for me, because there is things that stress me out. Like, that lack of control is the biggest thing for me that I struggle with. That is, I don't like having uncontrollables in my life. My big line is control the controllables, because you can't control the uncontrollables. And I've had to really go over that mantra over and over and over again with myself, because I'm constantly worrying about other people and what they're doing, and is it going to affect me? And I can't do that. I can't control what other people are doing. For example, in a relationship, a long-term relationship, 5 years, and could I control that person even though I wanted to? No, because she lived her own life, she wanted to do things her own way. And I keep saying now, like Darren Brown said a great line for me, which was, being in a relationship is not controlling the other person, it's accepting who they are as a human being, even for their flaws. So you need to be able to control your feelings about what that person does. So whether it's they go out a lot and you don't really like that, but can you accept that because you love them, then that's fine. If you can't accept that, then control the controllable and end the relationship. So if it's not going to work for you as a person, if it's going to stress you out, make you anxious, then you need to communicate that to the person. They might not want to change, and you can't control that. Other kind of causes of your stress could be deadlines, work mainly, school, university, wherever you're at. And then that kind of, you feel like it's a sense of failure. And I know a lot of my clients struggle with kind of work and managing their work, and that stresses them out because they feel like they're missing out on other things. So then there's that kind of frustration and pressure to be work, at work, mum, dad, brother, sister, daughter, son, friend, all those kind of roles that you need to play, and then you've got to be yourself. And that ultimately is the pinch point when I PT a lot of people, is that they're not prioritizing them like themselves. They are prioritizing everyone around them, and that ultimately stresses them out because they feel that they can't do all of those roles and be themselves. There's that fear of letting people down, that fear of, I can't do all these things, and you shouldn't need to. Like, you can manage them bit by bit. Don't feel like you have to be all on top of it, and everything it's got to be perfect, because life isn't perfect. I'm fortunate in a way. Like, at the moment, I don't have very many responsibilities. Lockdown's kind of reduced the amount of friends that I can see, because a lot of my friends live kind of further afield. We have a close-knit bunch within the local area. My kind of pressures have been recently on work and seeing clients, but during lockdown it was just keeping in contact, and I didn't feel much pressure to do that. I wanted to do that, and that's another thing. You've got to like what you do and do what you want. I just made time for it because I could, because I had a lot of it during lockdown. But some of you didn't. Some of you were homeschooling children, working at the same time, and then having to basically have the school holidays over and over and over again, with work involved and homework involved and lessons involved. And that's stressful, and some people are losing their jobs in that time as well, and that's another stress. And all these things are completely warranted to react to and to have stress from. The paramount thing is to do the right things to manage your mindset to deal with those changes. Stress is always due to some sort of event that leads to change, and where the unknown and loss of control is, that's the thing that leads to stress. With regards to training, people don't prioritize training because they have all those things that I've mentioned to do, and then they're like, well, I don't have time for that. And ultimately, going to the gym or going to a dance class or doing a cooking class or whatever that you enjoy is the thing that is going to make you feel better and feel less stressed. Things that you can help yourself to manage stress. So my big one is getting enough sleep. If you're not getting much sleep, the body isn't functioning properly, the mind isn't functioning properly, you're going to feel more stressed, more anxious about situations, and that can lead to other mental health issues. Depression is a massive one that comes from bad sleep, irregular sleep, which and sleep can be affected by a number of things. So obviously managing your workload, Your diet affects your sleep, the times that you're going to sleep, irregular work shifts that tends to, affect it. Alcohol, there's the big one. You may sleep really well after a night out drinking, so you think, but your body is not functioning correctly in that sleep at all. And I would say if you're a highly stressed out, highly anxious person, remove the alcohol from your diet. I'm speaking from massive experience. In 2019, when I was drinking very regularly due to being quite depressed and unhappy, I wasn't. I was drinking, near enough every day, and that's hard for me to tell you guys, but I didn't sleep, and then that created a massive, horrendous cycle of my anxiety, which was pretty under control thanks to all the good things I was doing otherwise, just went out the window. I wasn't sleeping. I was depressed. I was incredibly anxious about anything. Um, you know, people talk about that struggle about getting out of bed and not wanting to see the world and being worried about everything and, just not wanting to do stuff. And people think that you're just being lazy and that you can't be asked. My drinking didn't help with that. It makes your body highly strung. It makes your body not behave in the correct way. So I went on a bit about alcohol, but it's such a massive one that you can easily reduce or remove from your diet to make yourself feel better. It's something that more stress leads to you wanting to drink more. That kind of vicious cycle of because I'm feeling stressed out, I need to relax, so I'm gonna drink because it makes me feel calm. And it's like, yeah, it makes you feel calm for an hour, and then I feel incredibly anxious anyway, even when I've had a few drinks. For me, that's like McDonald's. Like, I eat McDonald's, kind of enjoy it at the time. I can't really remember because it's been such a long time. But I'd eat it and then kind of an hour later feel horrendous, feel shit, and feel shit for like a long time afterwards, and then go kind of, was it worth it? And that's ultimately sometimes how alcohol is. It's just like, oh, it's a means to an end. I kind of fancy a wine because I've had such a hard day. But I know that if I didn't drink and I just went to the gym instead, I'd probably feel 100 times better, and I'd probably going to sleep better, and I'm going to get sleep pretty early and feel better for myself, and I'll be able to attack the next day much more easily. I mentioned a few strategies that you can kind of use to help yourself, but I think the one that's helped me most with regards to my stress and anxiety, and I think a lot of people who struggle with managing their workloads, is to-do lists. I'm a big believer in to-do lists. If I don't do them, then it removes my sense of achievement and it removes my drive to complete any task. So I'll literally just sit and go, I haven't got anything on a list to do today, so I've probably got to do that and that, but well, I can wait. Whereas if I put it on the day to do that, I almost think if I get to the end of the day and I haven't done it, then that's a failure, and I don't want failure, and a lot of us don't like failure. So it's a great way of ensuring that you do things, that you can tick it off, that sense of reward and achievement that you've done stuff. And I mean, you can put the littlest things on that list. Like, mine are ridiculous sometimes. Like, I'll put that I've got to peel some potatoes, like something ridiculous like that. But you'd be surprised. You tick that off, it makes you feel like, yep, I've done that. I've got to hoover the kitchen, tick, I've done that. It's just simple things. Obviously diaries. We have phones these days. It's you can have calendars coming out your eye holes, but I love a diary. I love a couple of diaries. So I know everything's in the right place, and my brain's like, yep, everything is all up to date, and I know that that's what I'm doing. That can literally remove one stress out of my life, that I know that I can literally go to bed in the evening, look at my day for the tomorrow, look at my to-do list, look at my diary, know what my day is, plan out my day, and know that's you know, that stuff is set in stone. I can't really do much about that. And we all know that things happen. A phone call happens and it can change the outlook of your day in a second. So, if something like that happens and you end up not doing the to-do list, or you have to rearrange things that are on your day, that's okay. Like, you can sit back down and manage the next day, and some days will go completely to plan and some days won't, and that's what you've got to manage. That's the stress that you have to manage, and how you deal with the change that's happened. Sometimes these changes are so small, or they're massive life events. A few years ago, big life event, my father-in-law at the time went into hospital in an evening just after Christmas. Me and my ex at the time just having a lovely evening, watching telly, going to work the next day, completely normal. Within 5 hours, he had died, and my life changed in an instant. Like, you wouldn't believe how my life changed in an instant, but I still had to manage my work and my personal training and make sure that all that was ticked off, while also dealing with everything that was going on in my personal life. But I felt like I managed it really well. Like, I, managed the family, I managed my ex, I managed what needed to be organised, I managed my PT clients, I managed work, because I had a set plan at the time, and I was in a very good frame of mind at the time and had a way of dealing with those things. The problem is when you let things get on top of you and those things go out the window. Simple thing, last week, stop doing to-do lists, stop doing things. So immediately realised what I was doing, started doing to-do lists again. Guess what? I'm doing videos to camera because I told myself I was going to do this video. So organise your life. Even if you know that sometimes it might not go right, but you're more likely to feel more in control of your day or your week if you plan. That is one way you can help yourself, organise yourself. I think people don't do the things that they enjoy all the time and say that they can't manage it into their life. And, in the words of my lovely friend Jake Sharp, that's utter bullshit. Because you should make time for yourself. You only live this life once, in my opinion. You might think differently. If you've chosen to have children, you've chosen to be married, to be in a relationship, to be single, to be whatever, you've chosen that life. That's the life you lead. But you are one person. It is you. And you can control the things that you enjoy. And ultimately, you need to be able to enjoy your life. So go out, do the things that you love. I'm very lucky in the fact that the thing that I love is training. And that is ultimately because it does so much for me. It improves my mindset. It makes me feel healthier. It makes me feel more confident. But it gives me an hour and a half where I really don't think about anything else apart from training. It's about finding those things that you love, whether that be doing dancing or I don't know, if you like going to the pub, then you like going to the pub. It's about your relationship at the pub. Why are you going? Is it because you want to see your friends and stuff? Then do that. Like, do you have a football team that you want to go play for? Go do that. My brother's was into doing things like StarCraft, which like online gaming stuff. Fine, is that what you love? Do it. But ultimately, it's just finding that thing that's for you, and ultimately for you only. Want to do it with other people, then great, but it should be because you love it, not because someone else does. Other strategies: take a break. Sounds stupid. Sounds easy. but not a lot of you do it. And I keep finding that out. I'm doing a step challenge this month with my clients, and some of my clients literally don't move in the week because they are constantly on the computer, constantly in meetings, and their companies seem to be putting back-to-back meetings like through the day. And I don't know how productive your staff can be, but I ultimately want them to get up every hour and just move for 10 minutes. Like, you know how many steps you can get in 10 minutes? It's ridiculous. And I know because I've been doing it. Because I'm more often in front of the laptop these days, and I need to get up and move about. But, people aren't going to the toilet or getting a drink or having food. Like, these are ultimately life functions, and you're sacrificing them to sit in front of a computer in a meeting or on a phone call and not giving yourself a break. And just a heads up, it is law to have a break. So if you have a lunch break, use it. Like, don't go into the kitchen, grab something to eat, and then go back in front of the computer because you feel like you're behind. I know, that's then saying, well, then I'm going to stress myself out because I'm not doing my work. But I think you having a break, you prioritizing rest and recovery for your mind and getting your body moving is a better way of being productive and then managing that work better. And if you organize it, then hopefully then you'll complete it. So I've mentioned already, improving your diet and your alcohol intake is going to be a massive win for you. High sugar diets obviously lead to kind of real big highs, but real big crashes as well, and your body just won't cope with it. So just eating, getting your nutrients in, getting your vitamins and minerals and things like that, getting enough water in. They're the things, I'm not going to go into complete depth of nutrition because you need to do the simple things. And, it's banged on all the time, lower your alcohol intake, up your protein intake, up your water intake, get enough sleep, eat enough food. Like, so many conversations with clients recently, and they're looking to lose weight and they're struggling, and it's, I look at their diet and it's because they're having like 500 calories a day, and you're like, well, no wonder you're struggling to function at all because you're not eating enough food. If you're feeling really overwhelmed by your stress, I think people do not talk to one another about what's going on in their lives. Some people feel more comfortable talking to me about their stress and their anxieties rather than their husband or wives or mums or dads or best friends. Like, they don't talk about what's stressing them out. I hear a lot of stuff before they do, and that's okay if that's who you feel comfortable talking to. But you would not believe the amount of support you have from your best friends or your mum or your dad or your, in my case, my dad, my auntie, my uncle, my best mates, like even my clients. Sometimes I can say something to and they'll say something, but your family and friends are there for a reason. They are your family and friends for a complete reason. They love you and they want to support you and make sure that you're okay. If you don't want to talk to a friend or family, then personal trainer, talk to a counselor. If you're really struggling that badly, then do that, because if you need help, then get help. We're such a bad country for perceiving mental health as something wrong. The NHS are an incredibly amazing organisation, and they have so many people that are there willing to help you through loads of different ways. It doesn't, people are, oh, I'm going to get put on medication or something, and it's like, no, they don't want you on medication. They want you to manage your stress appropriately. The NHS has got a 10-step thing for stress. I'll read them out because you'll probably hear a lot of the things I've already said. So, number one, get active. So, get your steps in, go out for a walk, go to the gym, take a dance class. Number two, take control. So, as I said earlier, take control of the controllables. Do what you can do. Don't try and change what you can't. Connect with people. So, as I said, communicate with others, whoever it is, a friend, a family member, your PT, counsellor, GP, even a complete stranger, if you'd like. It's however you want to get it off your chest and make yourself feel better. Number four, me time. So I said, do something that you enjoy, do something for you. So very important. Number five, I like this one, set a challenge. Now that could be anything. Like, obviously my examples were probably more gym related. From my perspective, 100-kilo deadlift at the moment, 60-kilo bench press, 80-kilo squat. Those are things rattling around in my head all the time, how I'm going to get there. But, challenges at home. I'm currently just started out a PT business. So that's a highly stressful situation going self-employed, but I kind of feel all right about it. And that is obviously down to the incredible support I've had of my PT clients, the incredible support I've had from the gym I'm at, Unit 24 Platinum, the incredible support of my family and friends who have given me ideas and helped me kind of offload what I'm thinking and what I need to do. So I'm doing all those things that are on here, trying to manage my stress levels. 6, avoid unhealthy habits. Those things, yeah. So try and avoid doing naughty things to your body. 7, help others. Obviously, I love this one because I do this pretty much as a job, and I love the fact that I do this and it helps others. But volunteering, listening to other people's stresses and strains, and you'll realize, wow, like we're all the same and we all suffer with the same things and same problems. So yeah, just see how you can help your friends and family, because if you're feeling stressed, they probably are as well. So get it all off your chest all at the same time. 8, work smart, not hard. I like that one. So yeah, manage your workload. Where can you remove things that you really don't need to do as part of your work life or home life? Prioritize things that you want to do. 9, try to be positive. People moan on at me about how happy and excited I am. Is it a persona? I get asked. Is it a lie? No. I say, if you smile at someone, they'll tend to smile back, and then they might smile at someone else. So yes, I try and keep this kind of up persona because I want to be positive. I want to be happy. And if I don't want to do this today, which I do have days like that, and I'm not going to lie about that. I have days where I don't want to do things. I don't want to do videos like this because I think I look like an idiot. I just got to push through and be positive, and hopefully someone gains something from it. And if you don't, oh well, I'll get over it. And that's my positive attitude to it, because it's like, well, if you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. 10, accept the things you cannot change. So I think that's the part of the serenity prayer, isn't it? You cannot change something that's already changed. It's done, it's dusted. The biggest one for me, my mum died when I was 20. Can I change it? No. I have to move on from it. I have to accept it. It happened. And there's going to be so many things in your life that happen. I've had so many good things happen from things like that happening. I lost my job at Virgin Active, and I ended up getting a really horrible job in Weybridge, where I met some really nice people. So that was a tick box. And then I got the job at Farnborough Leisure Centre, and I was there for 5.5 years. If I hadn't lost that job, I probably would still be at Virgin Active. Everything happens for a reason. So allow the change to happen and process the change, and you'll feel so much better about it. I'm going to finish on two things that you can choose to do to help manage your stress, or look at stress a little bit differently, um, which is a few books to read, which The Chimp Paradox for me makes you see your brain really differently. Meditation is a big one. So Think Like a Monk is a book by Jay Shetty, where he talks about his experiences of being a monk, and how he's kind of pushed that into his personal life, in the real world, as it's kind of said in the book. Meditation, I don't do it, which I have tried. My brain's just like all the time, and I found other ways of managing my stress and keeping calm. Sitting still is just not one of them, but for you it might work. So we've got apps now, Calm, Headspace. Jay Shetty himself does things on his Instagram, and he's got it in his book, Think Like a Monk. So give things a go and see what works for you. If you want a book all about kind of positivity, and you want a book that kind of sounds like me, Ant Middleton's Zero Negativity is way up there for me. It's very, like, completely from my kind of perspective, especially the first chapter. It's ridiculous. It's like I wrote it. And then the current one I'm doing is Darren Brown's Happy. So very much about stoicism, which I probably am slightly in line with as well. So these books obviously are coming from my personal opinion. Like, you can comment below and give me some of your ideas. I'd love to keep reading stuff about mindset and happiness and reducing stress. Ultimately, what I want you to know is that it's okay to feel stressed. It's okay to feel anxious. Try and just accept it. Try and understand that change will happen, and happens constantly, and that it's going to be okay. Thanks for listening. Overall, thank you for your support as well, because it makes me feel less stressed out when I do these things, and talking to you makes me feel better. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.